Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Today's video is going to be about how women keep men stuck in marriages. Okay. We're going to talk about some of the tactics that they use to create a villainizing of the man, where even when he is not giving the things that he should be given, if he's being a good husband in the relationship, where even when he is not given back what is owed to him, how they keep the man stuck, different manipulation tactics that's used to keep him kind of under their thumb. Example of this is when a woman, sucks a man into marriage and then gets big and refuses to lose weight, and refuses to do things like go ahead and order some Alpha Juice Company, okay? Fresh, organic, pressed juices delivered straight to your front door to help keep you slim and trim, help keep things moving, help keep fat burning, honey, okay? Alpha Juice Company, you got to worry about me. That'll do it. You ain't got to worry about me, honey. I'm going to make sure that I keep myself together. Matter of fact, hold on. Oh, no. Let me make sure I'm getting my juices in because, honey, a big part about us looking good as women is keeping ourselves in shape, okay? Exercising discipline, denying ourselves of things. There's this notion that goes around that femininity is doing whatever you want and just lounging around and being fanned with palm leaves all day and giving in to every desire, getting everything you want, a princess type of lifestyle. That is not femininity. Femininity is sacrifice, hard work, discipline, okay? So a part of our discipline is eating right. Now, I know that all of us have schedules. We have things to do. Who really has time to go to the market? Groceries are $1,000 a week. We don't have time to go to the grocery store, buy organic fruits and vegetables, buy a juicer, actually juice them, bottle it up. Nobody is doing that, okay? So Alpha Juice Company is a company who does all that work for us, delivers it to your front door fresh and cold. They even give you a straw. It's the straw that sends me. I feel the love that you guys don't even want us looking for a straw, okay? Use my code SIXGOD to get $5 off and save you some money, honey, and get you your Alpha Juices today. Get fit, stay in shape, and be your best self. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm going to be reacting to this podcast because I think it is a great case study to see the tactics of women that shows this is why men don't want to get married. Okay. To me, this is a great example on why men are hesitant to make that lifelong commitment. To me, this is why men are hesitant to get married young. We're going to learn a lot. It's kind of long. We probably won't listen to the whole thing, but it's going to give a really good lesson to fellas in what you need to be looking out for and how you can avoid getting stuck. Okay. All right, here it goes.
Once again, this year, I don't know what's going on with hubby, but he's agreed to do a podcast with me. I am really shocked because he doesn't care about social media. But I think that he wants to see me be more consistent. He knows I love what I do. And I think it's so sweet that he's like, I'll even be on a podcast with you. So you're not going to hear much from him, I'm sure. Don't expect a lot, but he's joining me. So let's just go ahead and talk about today's topic. Well, before we do that, the name of the podcast is Are You Open?
Now, you see what the lady here did, where before the man can even articulate his own thoughts, she's already setting him up like, oh, well, he's not going to be talking that much. Like, how do you know what he's going to be doing? You don't know. Okay, fellas, never let a woman speak for you like that. You speak for yourself. All right. It's not about a man being a chatty patty, but it's about these are little strong armed. This is how you have signs of men who are being controlled in their relationships. Number one sign is when they sit there and let their woman talk for them. Okay. Fellas, pay
Open to
attention.
being offended.
And ladies, pay attention on what not to do.
And this is a brand new podcast that me and my husband are doing together, which is so exciting because, my husband has been with me my whole online career, I guess you can say, from the fashion blogging to the public speaking to the book writing. I mean, he's been with me every step of the way, just kind of like behind the scenes. And it's nice that he's going to be around in a new way, but a very small way. So don't get too excited. It'll be very small. But today's topic is very interesting. Babe, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So there has been a massive movement in the relationship space. And we're not going to name any names. We're not going to give anybody any type of free promotion. We don't even care. It's not even about any particular content creator or any particular thought process that people may have. We just want to give our perspective from being in a long-term relationship and from being in a long-term marriage, and from being a Christian conservative couple. So our ideas about things are a little different than a lot of other people's ideas about things. And some things may be similar. So I did a post on social media and I reposted a comment that I saw under a YouTube video from a woman who said that she has overweight friends. Well, not friends, but she said she knows two overweight women and they have husbands that spoil them. And that made her angry. And I thought this was very, very weird. And so I screenshot the comment and I put it on my Instagram and I gave my thoughts. And I gave some thoughts. So you can go read that post. But I want to talk about it with my husband because I would love to hear his perspective on this major push from men, Black men in particular, that say that a woman only needs to be fit, feminine, and friendly. That's all we're looking for in life from a spouse. Like, that's all you need. Those are the core.
Now, see, I'm going to stop it right there. See, that is another tactic that women use for when you're saying something that logically makes a lot of sense. What they do is this grandstanding, dramatic, oversimplifying, failure of acknowledging caveats and nuance. This is an attempt that they use where when you as a man are expressing your needs, this is how they downplay that. So if you as a man say, we want women who are fit, feminine, their way of avoiding that accountability is to say, oh, well, I guess that's just all we need. So all we need is just to be fit and feminine, and that's it. When no one said that. No one said, this is it. There is nothing else on the list. People don't even speak like that in general. So whenever your woman sits and dramatizes something that makes perfect sense, we can say the duty of a man is to protect, provide, and lead. Okay. If we say that to men, we expect them as our man to say, okay, that's what I need to do. That's what I'm going to do. How would we feel as women if men were like, so that's all we need to do? Protect, provide, and take the lead. That's it. So that's all we need. We wouldn't want that. We would want them to listen, be receptive, and be adults and not use manipulation tactics to guilt us into wanting what is natural for us to desire as women. Let's proceed.
The core things that a woman needs. She needs to be fit. She needs to be friendly. She needs to be feminine. And only those women deserve providers. And I've even heard men actually say that if a woman is a little chubby, or if she is not fit, or if she does not have submissive qualities, because you black men love submission, babe. Y'all love talking about submission day and night. Not you. I'm just kidding. I'm being funny right now.
You see, they'll always, when they have something that they do not want you to ask from them, that's what they'll do. They'll make it out to be a joke, or make it seem like you'll be wrong for asking for it or for expecting it. Like look at these men out here wanting submission. Who does that? Baby, I know you don't do that, but so they set you up to where you'll feel a way about saying, well, hey, yeah, that actually is important to me. They'll set it up like it's a joke, or they'll make a mockery of it in order to avoid you from expecting it.
This is a big topic, this submission topic. And this affects all races of women. It's just that I so happen to be a black woman and my husband is a black man. So obviously the voices are very loud in that space. But there's this idea that a woman must look a certain way. She must be a certain weight. She must act a certain way. She must have a certain personality in order to deserve provision. So what do you think about this? Just the idea of it. It's a.
Now I'm letting you guys know now. Prepare yourselves, because this is about to get extremely cringy. All right. If you are sensitive to cringe, click off now, because it's going to physically hurt. It's going to feel like nails on a chalkboard with how painful the rest of this is about to get. So just brace yourselves, please.
It's a big, big thing going on, and then we'll get into like what kind of women you like and why you picked me. But what do you think about this idea that a woman doesn't deserve a provider? Like we need to be in our place, like you're not a size 8 or 6 or 4.
Now, I also want to make note that nobody on Beyonce's internet has said that big women do not deserve to be happy. No one has said that big women should die and big women don't deserve a man who can provide. What people on the internet have been saying is that, okay, if women in general desire men who provide for them, then the rules of life, reciprocity is life. That would also mean there would be something that would be required from the woman in return. And since men are visual creatures, it naturally would start with a big part of that would be to look good. Okay, so this goes into, again, those same tactics of being over dramatic. No one on Beyonce's internet has said big women just don't deserve anything and they should just roll over and jump off a cliff. Okay, so keep that in mind as she uses that kind of as her edge in the conversation.
Or you might be a good 14. You don't deserve a provider because, you have a flaw in some way. And I will say being overweight is a flaw. I know a lot of women wouldn't agree with me, but that is.
No, I think a lot of women would agree with you. Okay. I think you're the only one fighting this fight on your own. I do think most women agree. Okay. Just like we would agree that a man being broke is not good and is a flaw. So I think we would agree that a woman being overweight, being out of shape, not looking good, I do think we would all agree that is definitely a flaw.
It's a part of being flawed because you struggle with weight.
I think the size of someone, it is all about personal preference. I mean, the size of a woman may affect your decision.
Yeah.
Because someone might have a type, but I don't think that's all someone is looking for. If you if a man is open to getting to know that person, they may see something that stands out to them that that they may be into. But if let's see, I think that generally speaking,
You're gonna be honest.
Generally speaking.
See, too many men, unfortunately, are in this predicament right now. Okay. And even though I do know that they are grown men and they make their own decisions, I cannot help but feel bad that as women do not have to sit and stutter and think twice about what they want to say. Women will gladly call you broke, call you dusty, call you useless. They will gladly not call you by your name and call you a provider and dehumanize you and view you as a tool as opposed to a human being. Women are not censoring their mouths whatsoever when talking about men. But I hate how so many married men are stuck here where you can tell he wants to openly express how he truly feels, but so many men are stuck because if they return that same level of honesty, they are demonized and made out to be the bad guy. So it really hurts me to see brothers not be able to just say what they need to say. And this is why you fellas have got to get out of the matrix and the illusion of woman pleasing. You have got to get out of the illusion of fear of being the bad guy. As a man, you will have to be the bad guy sometimes. Okay. There simply is no way around it. There's simply nothing that you can do. Your best bet is to just let it happen and proceed on. Okay. Once you go ahead and let go of that false reality that a woman has set for you, that, oh my God, I can't say this as though there's some imaginary bolt of lightning, okay, that's going to come down and strike you down. Have got to stop thinking that and not be afraid as a man to simply say what you need to say. Let's proceed.
Speaking, a woman who is fit and looks good are going to get them. Well, looks good,
Because that's so broad, right?
But it looks good to you is going to get that attention
and the perks.
And perks, because I think some men, or if you want to look at it, society just looks at someone who's overweight as
lazy.
Yeah,
Unattractive.
The self-control is not really what it should be.
Yeah.
Now, I want you all to note how she is leading his thoughts. Okay. And unfortunately, this is what happens with so many men after a long time of being married, especially if he's outnumbered in the family. A lot of times, what happens is now he barely can even formulate his own thoughts because the woman is so masculine that she leads his thoughts for him. This is what men are afraid of when it comes to marriage. Men are not afraid, contrary to popular belief. It is not commitment, okay, that men are afraid of. What they're afraid of is losing themselves. And this is a perfect example of how you can lose yourself so badly to where you're not even allowed to speak a full sentence with your own thoughts. Okay? That is the real problem. Okay? And so many men that have been married for a while, this is unfortunately what they suffer with. Okay, this is what men are afraid of. I want you to pay very close attention. to how deep she is in her masculine role and how deep he is in the feminine role, that she is pretty much controlling every aspect about everything that he says in this podcast. Okay. So I want you guys to make note of that as well. All right, let's proceed.
That kind of thing. So if you look at it like that, then they will be less attractive to a person.
Okay, well,
but are they undeserving of something? No. And I think I've seen enough overweight brides to combat that.
To combat that. Okay, now let's talk about the
see how she
financial
keeps
part of it.
See how she keeps cutting him off, fellas. These are the low-key ways that she undermines your thoughts. Okay, and some people may think it's not that big a deal, but it's actually a huge deal. Okay, it says a lot when a woman is unwilling to truly listen to your thoughts and what you want. And it's something that needs to be checked immediately, because this will be a snowball effect into further disrespect and low-key resentment and low-key knocking all your stuff over later in the relationship. This is how you lose yourself as a man in a marriage. Let's proceed.
Though, so of course we were college sweethearts, got married very young, and we didn't come from poverty. Let's be clear. You were never poor. I was never poor. So some of these conversations I think are rooted in some sort of poverty mindset, but let's just talk about the idea of provision. I don't think that was never even on my mind when I was dating, because I had a father who provided for me. I always had it. I never went without. I mean, when I met you, I didn't have a car, and I thought, oh my gosh, he has a car. Thank God. I got somebody with a car now, because my parents, they didn't want to get me a car. Maybe they couldn't afford to, get me a car. I don't really know what the reason was, but there were certain things about you and your lifestyle and your family. And, I always say I was middle class. Your family is probably more upper middle class. And I think that this idea is also going around, and I want to know your thoughts about this, that only poor men date women who are on the bigger side or the thicker side or the curvier side or fat. That a man with means and that had options would never date a fat woman. A man with options would just never date a fat woman. Why do you think that idea is out there? And do you think that is true? Because, I mean, as we've been married, things have changed. You've changed. Income does increase. So do you say now when you look at me, oh, I'm going to upgrade?
No.
I'm gonna upgrade now, because you're not who I really wanted, but now I have resources, so I'm gonna.
Okay, so this tactic right there is called the gun to your head tactic. Okay, this is how women sleep at night. Okay, this is how women manipulate you into soothing their guilt for not giving you what they know you deserve. Okay. The gun to the head method is a method that women will use where they will get you in front of an audience that is preferably on their side. It'll be around their family, their friends, their social media following, and ask you questions that you know damn well you cannot say yes to in front of them and their people. Okay. No man would ever get on the internet and then sit and have his woman ask, well, when we got married, okay, I was big, I'm still big. And do you think that you're going to trade me in for an upgrade for a better model? Knowing that no man can sit on this Beyonce internet right now and say, hell yeah. Oh, yes. Your ass is gone. Okay. Your ass is grass. Okay. I'm trading you in for a smaller woman because I got my bread up and now I'm ready to keep it moving. Men are not going to say that. So subconsciously, women know that you are programmed to protect us, which includes protecting our feelings. So what they'll do is they'll set you up like this, knowing that you can't give the real answer you want to give, and then use that to make them feel like, see, he's fine. See, he doesn't want that. He's fine where he is. He's happy. Okay. So, fellas, what you need to do when women play this tactic on you is flip it on her and literally ask her, why would you ask me that? What if I said yes? What would happen? Flip it on her and watch her because she wasn't expecting that. Do not let women play these games with you where they set you up to fail with a gun to your head like this. Okay? They want to play games and ask you dumb questions like this. Give a dumb answer. Okay? If I did say yes, I wanted to trade you in, what would we do then? Would you be all right with that? Watch her look like, beat her at her own game. Okay?
So where does that? Can you speak to that with men? I mean, what do you think about that? That can be true though, right? A man could say, "I have."
Well, maybe
with celebrities and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe a man with.
This is painful.
A lot of resources probably don't have the choices that someone with resources might have.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just may be proximity. I mean, I see poor people with, not poor people, a man with that may not have a high paying job.
But his wife is pretty.
No, I'm not talking about wife. She's gonna get married too.
Okay.
You talking about? I
thought you were gonna go and say that.
Marriage? You talking about marriage, or you talking about dating?
Well, I mean, it's like on the same coin, right?
Okay,
you start with dating and then it leads to marriage, or that's our mindset, right? But no, that doesn't always happen.
Nothing leads to marriage.
Nothing leads to marriage.
I don't see a lot of marriage is not something that I think is people are like striving for or something. But
well, see, that was awkward because you're on a podcast with someone where their entire MO is, look at me, I'm married. And, it's kind of embarrassing when your own husband is like, people don't care about that. It kind of really destroys everything that you've been trying to stand on this entire time, which is I'm married and everyone else is not. And even he's like, who cares? Nobody cares about that, So that hurts. I know that has to. Ladies, this is why you don't have your entire worth and look down on other women because they're not married and you are. That's why you don't use a man as a prize of look what I got and you don't. This is why you don't do that. You got to be that girl on your own. Same with a man. A man should never use his wife like, oh, look at my wife. Look at me. No, you got to be that person on your own independently. All right. Having everything that you stand on or that makes you feel relevant or confident being your partner is dangerous. And he kind of just debunked that just then.
Okay. All right.
What I was thinking about was just everyone who don't have a lot of resources aren't, all of them are not big. So, you see men with few resources with skinny women that have few resources but
they say that doesn't play a part. You want to get to the big women. Who's picking the big women? A woman doesn't have to have resources to get with any type of man, right? Like a woman could be a waitress. She could be with a man that is middle class or upper middle class, and she could be a lawyer. She could be with a man that's. I think it's Let's be real. A woman's attraction or the ability to attract men is going to be the factor in, her relationship at first.
Yeah,
We
that
know
gets
it's
the
gonna
attention
that's
first.
get the
Yeah,
attention
you have
first.
to look at them first.
But when we're talking about resources, we're talking about men, because
Yeah,
men
yeah,
are
right,
the ones
right.
that are the providers.
Yeah.
They have that badge of honor to carry. And from a biblical perspective, we believe in that. We believe that the man is the head, but we don't believe providing is Gucci bags and trips to Dubai, and that's not provision. That's extra.
So so are poor men choosing the bigger women?
Right?
That's
if they
the
had
question
an
we
option,
Yeah,
right?
if they had the option. I think that there are more poor men choosing big women than
Stop hitting.
poor men choosing.
Oh my God. I need a napkin. Oh my God. Oh. 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 Now, you guys, I've done a video before. Okay. And I said, listen, ladies, before you go looking for love, before you try to bring another person into your world, you need to be your best self. Okay? Point blank, period. What triggered me to make that video was the viral TikTok of the sister who met the guy on the beach and went to TikTok to find him, and he ended up being married. And just by him talking to her for 5 minutes, she thought it was a fairy tale and had met her husband. And what that told me is that clearly she is not used to men always approaching her, because more attractive women are used to men approaching them all the time. Okay. A man coming and talking to you for 5 minutes at the beach is not going to constitute them going to the internet to search for him. We're not meeting a man and then 2 minutes after meeting him, you're hugging on him and letting him touch you, because it's just not that big a deal. Like, men are coming around all the time. So I said, this sister looking for love when she was not her best self is why it kind of left her open to this fairy tale based off of a nothing interaction. Okay. Now, when I did that video, I think it stung a lot of women, because I think a lot of women feel like they don't want to accept a man at whatever economic status he is, but they realize, but we're expecting men to accept us at whatever status of looks that we are. And it's not a fair trade-off. And you are not going to attract the best type of man when you yourself are not your best. This is very simple laws of attraction. This is not something that I made up or that I am the God and enforcer of. This is simply the way nature works, okay? So now we see here that the husband is agreeing. Yeah, men with money, they probably are wanting women who are more attractive. So this is something I got slack for. Maybe now that a married man has said it, it will be more digestible for people. But this is simply all I was saying. I'm like, this just makes sense. This is nothing to be dramatic and emotional about. It's just the facts. Let's proceed.
Bigger women than a man who's making a lot of money choosing big women.
Right.
Because they have the choices are
broad.
Bigger.
Yeah, the choices are broader.
A much larger pool than someone who's poor. Because as soon as that woman finds out, then no, they're gone.
Right. So we're clear that from a worldly perspective, yes, that a man is going to choose the best looking woman he can possibly get for where he is in life, where he's going in life and all of that. But there is a spiritual component that no one will address, right? That, if all it takes is you have to be beautiful and thin. And why are so many people who are beautiful and thin getting a divorce? So do you want to address the spiritual component of a man?
And you see, don't ever feed into them when they, play those games of acting stupid. Okay. When we all as adults know that relationships, sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. The equivalent to this would be that saying that men with money would never get divorced. Okay. So this is a tactic that women use to avoid accountability, which is when they sit and take the worst case scenario, bring that to the forefront of the argument, and then make everything extremely basic and monolithic and say, oh, well, being skinny still means you can get a divorce. Well, being skinny still means that a man can cheat on you. Okay. When we all know good and well that no one is out here being so naive as to say, if you have this one thing, then it guarantees this other one thing. We all know that in life, the only thing that is guaranteed is death. Okay. So to sit and say, well, to use that dramatization tactic, which is to say, well, women are skinny and they're getting divorced, is a very childish, very manipulative tactic, because it just does not make any sense. Okay. Nothing that anyone can do in all one way will guarantee anything. You have Jeff Bezos who just got divorced. Okay. So saying because a woman looks good and she got divorced, so looking good is not important, would be the equivalent of saying, well, Jeff Bezos is a billionaire and he got divorced, so a man having money is not important. Okay. We all understand that there are multiple layers and multiple things that are involved in a relationship, not only forming, but lasting, and not only lasting, but lasting happily. Okay, let's proceed.
And that would make him. Oh, well,
I'm
listen.
not gonna say much. I'm just saying some more of a moral issue.
A moral issue. Okay.
Just if your morals aren't right, if you don't know how to, if you're not really happy with yourself, and you don't think highly of yourself, not unhealthy type of thinking highly of yourself, but
talk louder.
Yeah. Just you have to be happy with yourself, and I think you have to be in a good place morally,
spiritually,
to be able to,
emotionally, to pick the right spouse for you,
and to treat them right, treat everyone around you right, and to be willing to be treated right, to feel worthy of that.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot. You said that for bigger women, you're making it very clear to them that people will think you're lazy, that you lack discipline. So why did you pick me? I'm a curvy, thicker, and technically, according to the BMI scale, overweight. Why did you pick me?
So this is how women will avoid having to admit their faults. Do you see how she said, according to the BMI scale, I'm considered overweight? This is her way of removing accountability from herself and putting it on a BMI scale, instead of accepting reality and taking accountability and saying, yes, I am large. Okay. I am large. Okay. To avoid that, it's the BMI scale says. So when you see women do this, men, this is a good sign that you will have issues in that relationship, getting her to admit when she's wrong. Okay. It is her the one doing the eating. It is her the one having the lack of discipline, lack of exercise. But instead of accepting that and that being okay and doing better, it's the BMI scale says I'm large. These are the little, pay attention, fellas.
First, I like the way you look. And then when getting to know you, when I met you, I liked what you were saying. I liked what it felt like you you were direct. You knew what you wanted. You were um, you seemed to have a good head on your shoulders. You respected me. Um, you just was like just a overall nice person, and I liked the way you looked.
Right. I'm thinking you're downplaying the way.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was like that was the thing. I mean, I had to be attracted to you. I like the way you look.
He's not gonna say it, but he's in this house grabbing everything all day long. I mean, I'm getting grabbed, groped.
And this is not like you're some blob. You have a shape.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. See, all right, where do I start on this? So women do not go to men and say, well, it's not like you're just totally broke and useless. I mean, you paid some of the rent, you know. You as a man are not maintaining your household, paying that rent. Let them lights get turned off in that house. Let that electricity get turned off. You'll be every type of broke, bum, dusty. Okay. But do you see how men are cornered to kind of make do and reason in a way for the flaws of women? Now it becomes where it's almost like he's trying to convince himself, like, well, it's not like you're a blob. I mean, you kind of got a shape. Women don't do this for men. Okay. So this is how men in marriages get trapped, where you are stuck tiptoeing and the women are just stomping around. She's stomping around, saying whatever she want to say. I'm big and he ain't going nowhere. He going to pay these bills. And he tiptoeing. He tiptoeing. She's stomping. Okay. This is what men fear. Not the commitment, not being with one woman. This. Losing themselves to this degree.
Okay, all right. So preference is basically, I asked you that because I want women to understand that.
Just saying, I was like that was the thing. I mean, I had to be attracted to you. I like the way you look.
He's not gonna say it, but he's in this house grabbing everything all day long. I mean, I'm getting grabbed, groped.
And this is not like you're some blob. You have a shape.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So preference.
See how she cut him off real quick? Okay. The minute he starts to somewhat speak honestly about how he feels, she's like, okay, all right. Don't be letting them cut you off like that. You say what you need to say.
It's basically, I asked you that because I want women to understand that men have preferences.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, you're my type, anything. It's
right,
just,
yeah, because you don't have type. You've told me you don't have a type.
And if I...
All right, we're going to end there. Okay. Honey, on that note, we are just going to go ahead and end there because, to be quite honest, this is so cringy. I cannot take anymore and I'm over it. So we are going to cut that there. Ladies, I hope you learned something in this. Okay. You want to always leave safe space for your man to be able to be open and honest with what he needs and how he feels about you without villainizing, without being over dramatic, without getting your mama and your sisters and your cousins to team up on him. Okay. A marriage becomes invalid when somebody is in it out of fear of being the bad guy, out of fear of you ruining their life because you don't have a prenup. Okay. You should never feel like you have to manipulate and guilt and strong arm a man into being with you. It is not feminine, it is not becoming, it is not attractive, and it also will not work on strong men. Okay. That tactic will guarantee you a weak man, and that's just not going to be conducive to long term happiness and leading of a family. Okay. Lead in your femininity. A man should naturally want to be there. And men naturally want to be and are happy in places where they are respected, treated like human beings. When you respect him enough to have the discipline to look good, okay? We have so many women who have a complex about doing for their man, looking good for their man. And though we should look good for ourselves, we certainly would not want our men running around saying, I don't care what my wife wants and what she thinks, it's about me. We wouldn't want that. So I imagine it being very hurtful to men to see their women going around saying, calling women pick me's and saying, you care about what men want. I don't care about what men want. It's about me. Ladies, it is okay, contrary to popular belief, to appease your man with your looks, okay? Again, if you feel as though you have to play these tactics, your best bet, ladies, instead of doing this, is to just do better. If you walk around in a bonnet, stop. If you know you're overweight, lose it. If you know you walk around the house in dirty t-shirts and basketball shorts, get you some pretty silk nighties, okay? Do not guilt the man into not being able to speak up about what he wants. Just be aware, pay attention, and have the discipline to go ahead and do that on your own. Fellas, you cannot be a strong leader and also be afraid of being the bad guy. As much as women may make it seem as though letting them be unruly, wear the pants, be in their masculine energy, and run amok, as much as they might try to convince you that that is ideal for them or that that's what they want, women will subconsciously resent you when you allow them to knock your stuff over, when you allow them to make it so that you cannot express yourself in your own home. The woman is under the man. Women subconsciously desire rules, standards, and restrictions from their man. You are not really making her happy by letting her do whatever she wants, and you still appease her and are obedient to her regardless. If we have more brothers take a stand, get out. It's not real. This fear of being a bad guy, fear of everyone looking at you is fake. What if more men said, oh, well, I don't care? Okay. It's this false fear of, oh my God, her mom will get mad, her cousin will get mad. It's the false fear of that. Too many men live in their relationships based off of fear of what other people will say. And this is what has made a lot of brothers hesitant to settle down today. I thought this was an excellent example of that, and I wanted to share that with you guys. You let me know your thoughts in the comments, everyone. Do you feel like this is something that men fear in marriage? Women, have you ever been this woman? Did you get better? Are you still this woman? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next one.